You don't need a well to solve water. That's got to be one of the biggest misconceptions people think about when it comes to moving off grid. There's actually a simple way to approach water, and most people start in the wrong place. They assume that if they don't drill a well right away, that they're screwed. But that's not how it really works. If you're not sure where to start, just search DIY underground cistern and my system will come right up. Or you can just go to the water pillar on my website and it'll help you understand how to avoid losing a lot of money over time. Because water isn't simply just about where it comes from, it's about how you store it, how you move it, and how you build it in passes over time. All I had were these 2 IBC totes. They were about half full, so 300 gallons of water. I first pulled onto my land. I didn't have a well. Pretty quickly, I built my shop, and only one side of the shop here, 200 square feet, harvests enough rainwater to keep those 2 tanks full year-round. I can't even remember the last time I had to top them off, and I used that from the metal surface just for drinking water. That 600 gallons is just for me. In regards to survival, that's about a gallon a day, almost 2 years worth of water storage. I keep it clean and keep it simple. So for drinking water, I just add about 3/4 a cup of bleach to 300 gallons of water. And that's less than the CDC requires, or they call for, but they're talking about dirty water, and the taste can be overwhelming if you use as much as they suggest. This is what I've found has worked out perfectly well for me. Then, when I want water inside the cabin, I use this 3-gallon water container. I fill it up at the tanks, and then it goes into a gravity-fed water filter. The substrate in here, such as charcoal, filters out 99.9% of that chlorine. Just like everything I built out here when I started, it started really simple, largely with scrap material. And so I didn't have a first flush system or anything like that on my rainwater system, and it's perfectly fine anyway. Something I could update down the road, or when I put one on my new cabin, maybe that's what I'll do. But when you're just getting started with almost nothing, you can do it. It's just a rain gutter up there, you see, just a rain gutter. There's wire mesh to keep animals and insects and stuff from getting down in there. A little bit of dirt will get down into that cistern, an example. That's not a problem at all. And you know, you're going to grab water. The sediment settles. You grab the water that's bleached already and then filter it out. It's perfectly clean water, and it's a super simple system. I've tested my water many times over the years. It's consistent, it's clean, and I would put it up against just about any city water. So, after the IBC totes, I expanded a little bit, and the cheapest way I could think of to do that was to buy some used billboard vinyl liners. And I built a 3,600 gallon cistern right there on this side of the shop. There's another 3,600 gallon cistern behind my agricultural shed here. Of course, there's the 4,500 gallon pond. Water storage typically costs about $1 a gallon, so that 10,000 gallons only costing me $200 was a $9,800 savings roughly. So that pond simply fills in about a half hour from groundwater that runs down swells and berms from my front gate through the second gate all the way down past the cabin to the pond. The pond holds enough water to run the pump year round. And then I did the same thing for the upper reservoir here on my aquaponics system. Just a used billboard liner. As you can imagine, there are no mice in here since I have a panther. It can take a massive amount of time to water gardens and livestock, let alone if you're not here, how do you water them? Well, if you have a water tower, you can automate it to pump water around your entire homestead. So water storage alone isn't the only thing that created the system. Using the land, building berms and swells, and slowing down the water is all part of the system. You might notice how green it is here, and the topography that didn't exist when I first got here. Most of the land is pretty well flat. This whole area is just an overflow, just in case that cistern ever gets too full. It would dump it into this swell here. If you look at the swell down this direction, you see it runs through that gate all the way up to the front gate at the corner of the property. All of this field has been covered in manure to slow water and saturate and soak it up like a sponge. And this is my groundwater recharge pit. It doesn't look like much, but it's at the lowest point of the property and it absorbs a lot of water. So I have 10,000 gallons of storage, just counting the liners for the pond and 2 cisterns. There's the aquaponics. You could drink that in an emergency and filter it. There's the IBC totes. There's a pond out on the pasture, only one so far. But there's a lot of land that's holding water, and things are growing out here. There's thousands and thousands of sprouts right here in this field. None of this grass was here beforehand. Obviously there's sprouts, and it's just covered. This whole thing will be covered in grass cover before long. It's spongy to walk on, and this pond out here, the horses drop manure in it, compact it with their hooves, and eventually it will hold water. It currently holds water, I believe, well, for over a week, while normally a pond like that would drain overnight. And this is only one way to do it. I also haul water, and you could have water delivered. And the point is, I've been out here 6 years. Do you absolutely need a water well? Not to start. Maybe you never would. If you had 40,000 gallons of rainwater storage, an example, that would be a 3-year supply. And I know for a fact, if I had it, I could fill that in the monsoon season. So 1 monsoon season, 3-year supply of water. The point is, it is possible to harvest that much water, but maybe you drill a well down the road. Start with a few hundred gallons. Make sure that you can get delivery or haul water. Improve your land over time and expand when you can. I guess what I'm saying is, it's not really whether you drill a well or not. It's a series of small decisions. You don't need to solve water all at once. You just need to get started. Just build a system that will grow with you. If you want a better understanding of how all this breaks down, I have a lot of videos and written information in the library on my website. It'll walk you through it step by step, but more than anything, I just wanted to show you guys that it's possible. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need a massive budget. You just need to think about water differently.